Welcome to another episode of the Prospects Corner, brought to you by the Traveling Hoopers. In our first state tournament game outside of Texas, we go to Florida to check in on their 4A matchup of Santa Fe versus West Nassau. And guys, I am impressed by both of the leaders of West Nassau and Santa Fe. Dallan Coleman, who is going to Georgia Tech, put on an absolute shooting performance once again. He started off the game with strong physical play, a deadly logo 3 that came out of nowhere. I believe he posted the first 14 of those. Like, he's just a really good jump shooter, someone who knows how to get to his spots. He knows all the trades to get fouled with rip throughs. He's a really good special talent at 6'6", being able to shoot like this, showing that he can make the occasional play and just make a good decision off the bounce. As far as scoring goes, I think he has the total package, and the defensive measurables are going to be there. Coleman's going to leave 2 sophomore teammates behind who I think have a bright future in this game. The first being Leon Whitley, the 5'10" sophomore guard. He just continues to show up in the games that I've watched him play. He makes plays. He can jump passing lanes. He can finish on the break. He finds teams. He's just a really solid guard right now. And anybody who's contributing at this level as a sophomore who still has 2 more years of varsity, I'm always interested in seeing what this turns into, especially with a heavier load. The next guy who also impressed is going to be 6'7" Keenan Johnson. Clearly, he may be playing out of position, but at 6'7", sometimes you got to play the 4. He's slight, but he's really long, and that's where a lot of his blocks and different deflections he gets on the defensive end comes from. He had several good putbacks, just finding different ways to contribute without his number being called. One of those putbacks was a big-time putback dunk that I was just really impressed with seeing him get. If this can be a consistent effort that we're getting out of him over the next 2 years, again, another kid that I could love to see blossom. Checking out Santa Fe's roster, we start off with Ernest Ross. Out of the gate, I was impressed by how mobile Ross is at 6'9". This is the type of fluidity that is pretty rare for a guy of his size, and he uses it so well on the defensive end. He slides his feet confidently. He's so long that he can be 1 or 2 dribbles behind and still make up the pace, and he did that a lot on Dallan Coleman today, and it's really impressive. Even though he did get into some foul trouble, the way he moves and can corral the defender is going to be really impressive and useful at the next level. And that mobility also shows up on the offensive end. Seeing him get this beautiful oop dunk with ease is really impressive. He later hits a skip pass for an assist and then goes to get the same putback later. He's just a really mobile dude, and I wish I could have seen more of him in this game, but foul trouble. It's an issue. And just like Coleman, Ross is going to leave Santa Fe with 2 really good sophomores. The first being Dontrell Jenkins, who is a complete gamer. He's listed at 5'7", but it does not matter. He is one of the best players on the floor, and he proved it. The announcers even talked about him being Batman to Ernest's Robin, which is a really big compliment considering the senior is already going to North Carolina State. But he showed up throughout the entire game. He hit big threes. He made assists. He's clearly just figured out the game to this point. He's quick. He's fast. He reminds me of the University of Miami point guard Chris Likes. And that is a really big compliment because this kid is only a sophomore. He has a really explosive game. He has a great jumper. He has a great sense of what's going on the court and finding different angles and ways to score the basketball. I'm really impressed by what he is showing already, and we're about to see him completely uncapped next year. But he is going to have someone who's going to be replacing Ross at the small forward position in Mason Brown. At 6'5", he's already really strong and he's proven to be a really good physical defender. What he did on Coleman was really impressive with the steals, few deflections, just making everything harder for him, especially being able to match up with the size and maturity of a guy who's already nicknamed Debo before leaving the high school ranks. So, Mason Brown, my eyes are on you, young man. All right, now we move a little farther east to Tennessee's 3A state tournament. We have Cambridge going up against Franklin, which came in as one of the biggest surprises of my week of watching basketball. When I tell you I am impressed by Franklin's Matt Thurman and the way he can whip a pass around on the basketball court, it's really next level. And at 6'8", he shoots the ball well enough to be considered a Division I prospect as far as I'm concerned. But he's mainly getting offers from Division II, where I think he's going to be a stud. The way he passes the ball is going to allow him to be a cornerstone in any offense, whether you have him play off the ball or on the ball. He's going to be able to make high-level reads from day one. And this may just be an operative thing from being the guy, and probably at that size he's probably been there for a few years. It's just something that I'm really impressed by because he also rebounds. This is a dude who's going super under the radar, and that needs to change. Matching up against Thurman is going to be Cambridge's Brandon Miller, who stands as 24/7 Sports number 12 recruit in the class of 2022, and it makes so much sense why. At 6'7", this dude is athletic, runs like a deer, is hard-bodied, and he is a really talented shooter. Some of the shots that I've seen him make, of course, most people can't match up with his size, but what he's able to do on the perimeter to create his shot, whether that's a pull-up or just doing a dribble move and going straight up with it, he's going to be able to hit those shots, and it's really impressive to see a guy 6'7" who has all the ability to be just a run-and-gun break starter, also develop a really good jumper well before his college days. All right, we finish up our week of games in the Peach State, looking in at Wheeler versus Richmond Hill. This is a matchup that I really came in seeing how well Isaiah Collier played, but due to some technical difficulties, I got to see the star that is Kaleb Washington. From a defensive perspective, this dude is a game changer, especially at the high school level. He's clearly feared in this class or at this point in high school because he forced kids into floaters where he really would not have been able to affect the shots. But between his length, his athleticism, his timing, and what he did show when guys did try to approach him, is that he has the size, the timing, the toughness to really probably guard three positions as a freshman at Daytona. He's really impressive, and what I can say is going under the radar is his ability to pass. Like, some of the things that he did was just to show how unselfish he is as a playmaker. Maybe you want him to be a little bit more aggressive, but if he is going to be able to hit guys and make plays the way he does at the high school level as he does at the college level, this is going to be a really fun defensive prospect who can also help move an offense.
Once again, Calvin McGowan, hope you enjoyed yourself. If you are watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave something in the comments. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You made it this far, once again, thank you. I hope you got a lot done of whatever it was you were working on while listening to this. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.